AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after. You're tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Yeah, there it is. Welcome to the Blacklist AFTERBUZZ After Show. Yes, that is Nando.
We're back.
What is that? What are we listening to?
That's Save Me. That was the opening. That was when the doctors were getting the code 77. That
Yeah,
was the
Code
music in the
77.
background. That's called Save Me, and
Yeah.
it's from I don't think I can say this guy's name right. I don't even know where it is right now. Hani something.
Honey.
Hani
Hani.
Al-Khatib.
Thank you, Marissa.
I'm
Hani
home.
Al-Khatib.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Awesome song.
Thank you. Welcome to Blacklist AFTERBUZZ After Show. We've been off for a couple of weeks. It's fantastic to be back. I'm joined as always by my man Nando Velasquez.
Thank you. Hey, everybody.
Hello. And
Hello.
I'm also joined by the lovely Julia Cearley.
Hi, everybody. I feel like I haven't been here in so long.
I haven't seen you
I've
in so long.
missed you guys.
I know.
I haven't
seen
felt
you.
threatened in quite a while.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
I know
needed
what
a
that means.
break.
Exactly. I think you're good. We're not joined by Joe Sanfilippo, who is doing a voiceover of some sort, which he feels is much more important than being here with us.
What does he know?
Yeah.
You know,
Idiots.
what does he know?
Come on.
But I'm here. I'm Joe Braswell. Breaking news. I love this episode. I loved it. And I've got no qualifiers. I've got no except for the thing. What the thing? You know, Elizabeth Keene. I'm okay with her. Didn't
I'm in.
suck. I liked her actually. I like Lizzie Keene.
Didn't suck.
And you know,
Look, considering the fact that we are always on this show raving about James Spader, and he was pretty much unconscious for 2/3 of this show. Mm-hmm. So, you know,
Yeah.
Lizzie had to, Megan Boone, Lizzie had to carry most of this.
and props to Megan Boone.
Yeah.
I think Megan Boone did a good job. I
Yeah.
want to hear what you have to say about Megan Boone.
I was all in on this episode. This was the Blacklist episode of my dreams.
Right. Oh,
All across
that's
the
sweet.
board,
Yeah.
including Lizzie Keene, who I know I give a bad rap, but good job, Megan
I
Boone.
thought it was awesome.
All right, good. Well, as you may or may not know, this is it is May sweeps. It's a time of the year where you know, the networks or the Nielsen ratings are sort of calculated and tabulated or watched, and this is the time of the year where the networks put on their best shows or their stunt shows or their best episodes, and people die and guest stars pop up and all these things happen in network television.
Secrets are revealed.
Secrets are revealed.
Big old secrets are revealed.
Yes, and so and the Blacklist is no different at all. And we're in these last 3 episodes, and we're in sweeps because this was cracker to the jack.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew
Cracker
it.
Jack. I loved it. Yeah, it's Cracker Jack episode. It was great. We left last week with a bit of a cliffhanger.
Last week.
Sorry.
Last
episode with a bit of a cliffhanger of Red being shot, and then Dinbay and Lizzie firing off into the air into the mysterious assailant who's unknown. But then we jump right into it this episode where we see that the team spring into action, and the first cool thing we see is Lizzie gets on the horn with the gang at the post office, the task force, and tries to get some care for Red, and Dinbay snatches that phone and throws it out and says, "It's star 77 time."
Can you just take Red to the ER? Like, is that a possibility?
No.
Like, I don't think you can.
No,
Of
you
course, he
cannot.
has
Yeah.
a plan ready and set in
No.
motion.
Well, I think Lizzie, he's obviously in need of an ER immediately. So I think even Lizzie knows that, but at the same time, she just doesn't know.
She doesn't know
She
code
doesn't-
77.
She still doesn't know the rules that Red plays by. And hell, I don't even think I did. That was such an amazing montage.
Star 77, baby.
Yeah.
Code 77. Explain what happens with code 77, Nando.
Oh, I mean, it's a direct line to Mr. Kaplan, and
That's
Mr.
right.
Kaplan's like, "What's your location?" It's like everything.
I call her Kate.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, do
you
you?
just call it Kate?
Yeah, I call her Kate.
Everything. It's like all you have to do is star 77, and she knows exactly what's going on.
Yes.
Everything's going on. You don't have to say anything else. Just your location.
Yeah.
She finds the closest place, and I guess contacts every single major surgeon, doctor, like the
We're all
elite
alert.
people.
She's like the top of the phone tree.
Right.
Yeah. That
all
one
alert.
guy jumping out of the ambulance and
Yes.
just running down the
Yeah,
street.
that was awesome.
I think this is one of my favorite sort of pop culture tropes, or the things in culture and in spy movies. That weird call to action montage, like they did it so great in the first Bourne Identity, when it's like, activate all the assets, and you see these shots of people like laying in bed, looking at their phone, and then like cocking guns. Like I love that stuff. I love the idea of like there's some button you can press, and people all over the city or all over the world just look at their phone and then know what to do. I love the idea of that. I want to do that with you guys.
Let's do it.
Code where just like it's like Star Braz or something, and you guys just kind of all.
I'm just tempted to do.
Give me a
I'm
sandwich.
just tempted to do star 77 right now on my phone. Give me a sandwich.
Like-
This isn't Postmates. It's not Uber. You click the Uber, dude.
Like, I've got the pepper jack cheese. I've got the mayo. Flippo's like, I've got the bread. We all need an AFTERBUZZ. That's my dream.
Let's make a
Let's
sandwich.
make it
So what?
happen.
I
Let's
don't
make a
know.
sandwich.
I want a
Who's going to be
sandwich.
Mr. Kaplan, though?
I don't know. Lola can be Mr. Kaplan.
Lola, you can be Mr. Kaplan.
All right, so yeah, so we get that. No, well, first of all, just let me jump back into a recap. We learned a lot this episode. I think there were a lot of questions answered. We talk a lot about this whole notion of more questions being asked than answered, or more questions being presented than answered. I think that we, much like the very beginning of the season, we do this wholesale like answer a bunch of questions and sort of get us on the right track. I feel pretty good about all the stuff that were answered. They even addressed the thing that you and I were talking about the Tom and Red on the bench outside the hospital.
Yes.
Which we're like, how did that happen?
Yes, thanks for that.
And in a very good piece of exposition, they explained that whole thing. Tom did a great job of sort of saying, like, you hired me, but I never met you, and and I was sat next to you. I didn't, I was terrified because you were threatening me, but not threatening me, and I didn't know what to do, and that was great.
awesome.
That all made sense to me. I'm like, oh, okay, well, there's that.
There were a lot of thank you moments in this episode for me, like, thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Yes, I agree. So I feel like a lot of the listeners are tied up. We finally, without spoiling, we finally also get to know Tom's true nature. The other Tom
Connolly?
Tom Connolly's true nature. What is with people and
I know.
Toms?
Yeah.
I know, the
The
Toms.
Toms being trained, but yeah,
Blacklist loves Toms.
Did anyone for one second think Tom was on the up and up though?
Oh, God, no.
The second he showed up,
Oh, God, no.
we were like,
He's just a little.
He's
That's the-
marmied to the nth degree.
the worst kept secret in all of Blacklist.
I mean, he's an awesome character, but
Yeah.
you can't trust that guy.
No.
I mean,
No.
God, not at all.
Please.
Yeah, and even in this episode when he's like, when the assistant attorney general was like, we need full disclosure, and he's like, no, he's right to keep it a secret. It's a need to know basis. I thought like, oh, okay, maybe, but
Really?
no, I didn't.
No.
I didn't buy it.
Nice try.
I didn't buy it. Also, we get a lot more of David Strathairn, which is great. The director.
The director.
We almost got what he's the director of.
What's his name?
There's
Director
that.
Cooper?
Clandestine
No.
services.
No, well, yeah. Well, they cut it off. They're like, he's the director of clandestine. Yes, he is.
Clandestine.
So, it was, yeah, like they started saying the acronym and they didn't even finish it. What did you have?
No, well, I had subtitles on. I was watching it on Hulu.
Oh, okay. What
And
did
it
it
said
say?
it can never say clandestine services. That's all it said.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it didn't say anything else. I just assumed.
The director of clandestine services. That high-powered government organization. Clandestine services.
Yeah, but I was going to say, isn't that the CIA kind of?
That's what I was thinking.
Central Intelligence Agency, CIA.
Yeah, well, I guess so. Okay, never
Yeah.
mind. But I mean, they do those kinds of service. That's what they do.
They do, but I'm just saying, like, they've made him the director of something that is so
something
secret.
within there. Yeah, I guess.
Some government agency that's not, that we don't know about. Anyway, it's good to see him show up.
Yeah.
I think they got him for a few, like a handful of episodes. So
He's great.
I think they used him for the beginning for the season premiere, and they used him for the end for sweeps. It's like the best. Bang for the buck in your David Strathairn dollars. If you only got him for 5 episodes, you don't want to waste him in those in the middle episodes. With the with the family, whatever that family was, the one, the Colt family. Was it?
Oh, I forget what they were called.
Oh, I can't remember.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Anyway, so let's get into this. So Red's down. We assemble our Avengers of surgeons and team together to put them together.
Avengers assemble.
And while this is happening, we are we're on the hunt for my man, who's the title of this episode is
Leonard Caul.
Leonard Caul.
Yes.
Caul.
Call number 62
Right, number 62.
on the blacklist.
Yep.
Which we now know Leonard is the guy. Now, is Leonard the creator of the Fulcrum
Code
decoding device?
I don't know. He's like the Alan Turing.
He is. I mean, I feel like
He was very imitation game with that thing.
I don't think he
Somewhat
wrote
he was.
I don't think he created the device, but he wrote the code that the device that you need to operate the device.
right. Okay. So
He knew how to work it.
You knew how to work it. There you go.
they knew they wanted to get him. They put the task force on finding him. They had that wonderful moment where Aram had to sort of spill his guts about how he helped her.
Rom. Oh, that look from Cooper.
Yeah, and Cooper gave him a look, and I was like, but Aram's like,
Sorry.
what do you want me to do?
He's scary.
So do you understand? The idea is that they have to find. Liz wants to find this guy, and they're on the hunt to find this guy because they know that he's important. Do they know why he's important at that point, or are they just trying to figure out?
No, all he's able to do is mutter out to her as he's spitting out blood.
Right.
You need to find Leonard
Yeah,
Caul.
Leonard Caul. Yes. So they go out and they try to find Leonard Caul. He, Harold Cooper goes to Tom to ask another favor. I got a guy who owes me a favor. Presumably, Tom puts him in touch with his old CO.
Oh, Tom Connolly.
Tom
Yes.
Connolly, yes. I'm sorry. Puts him in touch. I got to say Connolly. You're right.
Yeah.
Puts him in touch with his old CO, who lets him know the location of Leonard Caul.
Caul.
Call. Yes.
Caul.
Okay, got that right. I mean, yeah. Like that. There's a lot. There's so much to get out and unpack. I don't know how much of I should go through linearly story. How much we should talk about sort of
there's a lot.
bullet points. What happened?
But it sort of turns out back to the Leonard Caul thing that while they're searching for him, he's already following Lizzie.
Right.
So he's already found them.
Right. Which is what ultimately what Red says when he comes to right.
Yeah. He says Lizzie
Dibday.
won't find him, but he'll find
Yes.
her.
Okay. So I just how about this? I have a bunch of questions. Let me just
I see that.
hammering through questions. Not in a bad way. I have a bunch of questions.
Who's Red?
So Red Reddington. He's important, right? No. Okay. So let's start with they assemble. So Liz, the FBI team comes. The first team that comes in is a team that is presumably they thought were there to support them, but it turned out to be a group of assassins.
It was a leak.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
a leak.
That was sent by...
Do we know where the leak came from?
The leak, they
Yes.
figured out where the leak came from because...
Strathern's character.
Well, it came ultimately, I guess, from Strathern's character, but what happened was
director.
when Lizzie called and gave the location, Cooper went through another agency
Right.
to get back up over there, so they figured the leak was from there. So that's
Right.
why they said from now on we do everything just from
Right.
here.
Like, that's what we call HRT. We use
HRT.
so-and-so's team.
Yeah.
As opposed to okay, got it. So when they came in, Miss Kaplan, being the sharp cookie that she is, noticed that they weren't carrying government issued
yeah.
guns.
God, I love her.
And just
But they
boom,
still
boom, boom.
shot. But they still shot that one surgeon. They got
did.
one shot off before Kaplan was able to get them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which caused such a weird, interesting. I wonder if this is why this plot device was introduced. So it caused Lizzie to call in a favor from an old boyfriend, the doctor, who apparently
Dr. Nick.
Dr. Nick,
Mm-hmm.
who apparently can't say no. Like most men, we know, can't say no to Lizzie
Can't say no to Lizzie.
for some reason.
She's a magical sexual beast, apparently.
But,
she makes men compromise their morals left and right. Look at
Yes.
Tom abandoning his post. Look at Nick.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going on in there. I don't know.
Hey, when you're good, you're good. What can I say?
Sorry.
Say it.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to say it.
I'm not gonna say it.
Someone's not. No.
We made a couple jokes before the show started. That's
Right.
all. Okay.
Let's just say Lizzie's persuasive with the.
There you go. Okay. That's
man. Anyway, so the doctor comes in. He's there. He's wants to perform the surgery, but he says he knows who this is. He demands $379,000.
Whatever his student loans are.
Yeah.
And like 22 cents.
At 22 cents.
Yeah.
$22. I think it was
cents.
$22, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Which, you know,
Exactly what his student loans are.
Miss Kaplan is ready with the briefcase of $500,000.
Just take $500,000. Let's call it even.
Untraceable bills.
Yeah.
Like, just get it done, which I thought was also super dope.
But I think there's an important reason for Nick to be introduced in this episode.
Why?
And go on.
Because, well, first of all, we hear when he sees Tom, we hear that I guess, you know, when he proposed to Lizzie before she turned him down, I guess he discovered Tom in her place.
Yes.
Right.
So
last time I saw you, you were in your underwear making coffee in my
Yeah.
living room, something
That's
like that.
right.
And this all again goes back to Tom being hired by Red to
Right.
be close to Lizzie. So
Yeah.
if anything, you know, Tom, she can even blame Tom for this because who knows, maybe she would have been with Nick if Tom wasn't in the picture.
But
I also like Tom Keene saying to Nick, "Don't take it. Don't take it. Don't take
take
that
the money.
money. You'll be indebted. You'll be under his thumb."
So yeah,
That was a nice little warning.
So you think
so
he'll be
maybe we'll
back.
see him again.
Yeah,
is Tom going to get rid of this SS tattoo ever?
God, I hope so.
He's just going to rock the SS tattoo?
I know that's a little weird that he still has it on.
I like the continuity.
Yeah.
You know? I like the commitment of him
I don't
having
know
to
if
get
he's
that
had
tattoo.
time to have it lasered off.
He has
Just stick
not.
like a Band-Aid on that or something.
That's
Yeah.
probably
You don't have to walk around town with that.
Yeah.
That's probably a good point. I mean, well, first the Band-Aid, but also just to show continuity, passage of time. There's just to show that not much time has passed with
Sure.
all of these episodes. It's just one after
And
the
boom,
other.
boom, boom.
Yeah.
So and then there's an issue, and then we have to move Red immediately to stabilize him and move him. They move him to this warehouse, right?
To what I am presuming to be Tom's old warehouse where he had his fancy car, where he was doing
Yes.
all of his
Yeah.
secret stuff when he was still with Lizzie.
Exactly. That's what I thought. But isn't the warehouse where they got in a fight there, right?
Yeah.
Or- yes.
Yeah.
And then he killed what's
He killed what's her
Joanne
name?
and
Yeah.
what's her name? Jolene.
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 Yes.
Yes.
That's the same warehouse.
That's what I believe.
All right.
She said,
I
I thought
believe
you'd
that.
be gone. Because he said he was going to Japan.
He's not going anywhere.
He's not going
Yeah.
anywhere.
And she said it was the last place I could think of to go. Yeah.
Right. So what do we think of this Tom Keene guy these days? Because I've done another 180 on Tom Keene.
where are you now?
I am so pro Tom Keene. Like, I want to make out with Tom Keene. I love Tom Keene so much.
Oh, well,
Frank
join the
Julia
club.
for it. Yeah.
I love
Welcome.
Tom Keene.
Welcome, one and all.
Like, and they did just a really great job of like really just this full circle of like really convincing me that he really did love Lizzie, and they did some great writing in this episode to sort of close all those loops that, you know, at the end when between his monologue, between what he's told Lizzie, between what he told Red about that meeting, you know, more further explaining the whole Berlin situation. And then, of course, Red at the end, in one of his Red monologues, sort of explaining the specifics of what went down with Tom. He was hired only to keep an eye on him. He fell in love. And then once he fell in love, like he got fired, but he was afraid of Red, so he joined Berlin, but he really wanted to stay close to Lizzie. So it wasn't, he was just trying to sort of keep himself alive and stay close to the one he loved, not sort of betray him the whole time. That goddamn Tom is a sweetheart.
Heart of gold.
He's a heart of gold. Heart of damn gold.
But they did a great job in creating this character and making him. They've humanized him when we thought that was out the window, and they've made him a completely sympathetic character.
Right. And they've made him an asset now.
Yeah.
Because now we know that he's a complete badass. He, you know, I mean, he's one hair's breadth away from being a part of the damn task force. Like he's going to be, you know, eating breakfast with Wrestler and Cooper pretty soon here. You know, I don't know. Like he's in the mix. So I like what they've done, and now I'm rooting for them. Now I want them back together. Forget Wrestler. I mean,
I don't know if I want them completely back together, but
I do.
I do like them working together. That's a
Right.
step up.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't see how they're just going to work together. You know,
Yeah, I know.
Right.
It'll
they're going to do
eventually.
it sooner or later.
Sooner or later.
And then I'll hate her again.
I'm up for later. Let them work together. I'm kind
It's
of
like you guys. Like you guys are just going to work together
Oh
forever.
boy,
How are we going to do it?
Like sooner or later.
I don't even want.
Sooner or later, I'm going to kill him. Stab, stab.
Okay, seriously, this is back to that. So
We took a little break.
yes.
Oh, Nando.
I don't know if the camera's got that, but
Yeah,
okay.
it was a
There we
sweet
go.
talk. You guys
Stab, stab.
Yeah. You love each other. I get it. No, so Tom. I think Tom's on the level, and I loved seeing him at the end. You know, like, give me a gun.
Ooh,
and they all
yeah.
looked.
That was
and-
kinda hot.
Yeah, and he threw him the gun. And he's like, "I'm going to work. I'm Tom Keene in this mug."
Yeah.
Like, and he did. You know, that was great.
Tom Keen's badass.
He's
oh,
a
I love
badass.
Tom Keen.
I love Tom. I love the
Just
idea.
get rid of that stupid
Now-
tattoo.
Well, yeah, the tattoo. And that's it. Like, he's got the right haircut now. He's got rid of the sweaters. Like,
Kind of missed the glasses.
the
but that's
glasses,
all right.
the goofy haircut. Like, he's all straight. I'm ready
Badass.
for Tom. All right, so working back. So they moved to that location. Liz Dimbe pulls Liz aside and says, you know, you need to go to this flat in Bethesda, you know, which is Red's secret flat. Don't tell him you've been there. By the way, EW said this, and I agree. You can always tell how good the episode is by how many lines Dimbe has. They're like, that was a good. I read that EW.
That's
I'm like, that's so
perfect.
true. Like, crank it up. Dimbe, right? Like,
Dembe.
he's got some chops. And we talked about how they made him a series regular, so they're giving him more to do.
Which is
Thank
awesome.
God, he's
Which
the
is
best.
great.
Yeah, give Dimbe more to do and sit around and look and hand Red guns and stuff and put hats on his
Put
head.
him into action.
Yeah. So
Take a little control. I liked that.
I liked it too. So they put, and I also like the idea of him being so close to Red and knowing Red's secrets, but having his best interest at heart. There's only one person that can say, "Don't tell Red, but you got to do this for Red." Like, there's only one person that can really say that.
Yeah.
It's Dimbe.
And just his absolute concern because of their histories, a kind of father figure to him. You know, he saved him. He's
was-
terrified that he's not going to make it out.
He was sweet. I do it myself, but I cannot leave him.
Well, even,
Oh,
no,
Dembe!
even in the end when Red wakes up and he goes, "You should have told her the truth."
Yeah.
You know, like he knows everything, but he's the keeper of secrets for Red.
Yeah. So she goes out to the crib in Bethesda, goes in there and looks around and sees some photos of her in high school, like in graduation, and she sees a very mysterious photo that's like sun blazed out with a woman and a little girl. Who the heck is that?
I thought that was her.
Who's the woman?
Oh, probably her mom.
Right.
Considering, I mean, this is kind of jumping ahead at the end when the director says, "You look just like her,
Yeah.
just like your mother."
Right.
Bah!
Didn't look a lot like Weeds. What's her name?
Oh, Mary Louise Parker.
Mary Louise Parker.
There we go.
Yeah. So I don't know. She's clearly not the mother.
I don't think so.
All right. Yeah, so she snaps a photo, she walks around, she sees a bunch of stuff, and she finds the case, which we now recognize as the case he got from the
Kennedy
car,
car, we
the
call it.
Kennedy car,
Kennedy car,
in the
quotes.
Kenyon family, which was the episode. So that's cool. I love the way they tied that together. And the key, he got the key from another episode. I mean, I can't remember, that he got out of a mason jar in the front. So that key is from... that he got out of mason jar in the front. The Kenyon, the case is what he got from the Kenyon family, and then of course the fulcrum piece is from the bunny. And so we have I think it's kind of cool the way they weaved all that stuff together. And she has all these pieces, and not knowing what they would do, and she opens the door to get out of there, and of course there's my man,
Leonard Caul.
Leonard Caul to solve everything. I like the idea of this sort of like technology, like this very Alan Turing style of technology that's somewhat old school but new school, and there's knobs and there's things, and you have to put the thing and then you take the key off and and it's a projector, and I thought that was very cool.
Yeah,
I don't know. I like that a lot. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, so it seems like all this talk that it felt a little anticlimactic to me, because all of this talk about the fulcrum and all this thing, the fulcrum, was cool to see it all come together, but once it was up, it was kind of like, well, we knew that anyway, right? I mean, there was no surprise.
Yeah, I guess I could totally see that. I mean, we always, I guess, knew what the fulcrum was. It was the blackmail file.
Right.
You know, with everything, all the information. I guess, if anything, I could totally understand what you mean. Like, because we still don't understand Lizzie's connection to everything. So,
Right.
if anything, especially that first shot when the projector is on, but we never see
They're all
what
like,
they're looking at, I'm thinking like Lizzie's going to discover something, you know, kind of like the other show we have, Bates Motel, when they did the flash drive and we saw there was important information on one of the characters in that show. I don't want to spoil anything for people who aren't caught up, but something like that.
Right.
Something that would be really, really crucial to Lizzie's history, or
Right.
something about Red. But no, it's just a list of names and, you know, blackmail files, exactly what they were saying on some of these people that we've heard
But
in
it did
meetings.
go pretty deep, you know? It wasn't just like a list of anonymous names of people doing bad things. Like this,
Right.
these were high up officials.
Right. So one of the things I'm somewhat confused about is at the end of that episode. Well, I'll get to that in a second because there's the whole notion. Okay, so they take this and they go back and they find out that the spot is under attack. It's about there's a attack team coming in, and which I thought was a very cool sequence.
That was an awesome.
We also see my man, the guy who's also in Red's crew with the beard, the Chris Christopherson dude with the beard.
He's cool.
That guy's cool too, right?
He's cool.
I like that guy. So hopefully give him some more lines. Red's got a cool crew.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
I mean, no Pee Wee Herman, he wasn't there. And
No.
That's right. He doesn't like blood.
Yeah, that's right. He doesn't like blood. You Pee Wee again. But yeah, so that was a cool sort of standoff. Now they lost some guys, right? They held their own.
A lot of red shirts.
A lot of red shirts, but Dimbe, Tom, and Chris Christopherson and Mrs. Kaplan survived, which is all we care about. What about that Tinder scene?
I was just gonna say that was a cool moment when he calls her. What's her name? Kate.
Kate.
When he calls her Kate, when she refuses to leave, when Mr. Kaplan / Kate refuses to leave Red's side, and he says, "You have to. Like it was a tender moment. You have to, and you know what you have to do if I don't survive."
Right.
I wonder what that is.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
and she kisses him on the forehead.
Yeah.
that was
And
sweet.
gives him a gun.
Oh, Kate.
And runs.
Yeah, and he used it well. Like he did. Was it 6 shots, 6 guys, or like I don't know how many shots it was.
He killed 3.
Okay.
I think because he did like 2 shots per person at least.
Okay,
About
that makes sense. So
can you imagine after what he's been through? Chest tubes.
Yeah.
Gunshots.
He's Red Reddington. Like I like when Red springs into action like that. So in that moment, Lizzie finally realizes that it's the director. Now, I mean that's just one moment of suspension of disbelief from the moment that she's rolling by the spot and seeing the team enter to like she hightails it to CIA headquarters, which I'm assuming is DC. Maybe it's not that far. Hightails it to CIA headquarters, gets out, parks, gets through security. Gets everything, gets right to the director, and somehow put the keys in,
Figured it all out.
the fulcrum, shows the thing on the thing, just
Let
in
them
time
see
to
that
say,
whole thing.
call it off. I don't know. That seems
And give a little speech to convince him to call it off.
And not just that. When she leaves, she's like, "You can have it. I have 9 copies."
Yeah, she made copies. She stopped by Kinko's. And somehow the fulcrum machine.
She stopped by Kinko's and said, "Hey, can you do this really quick?" Yeah.
Either that's a slow tack team that was invading, or that was a long battle, or Dimbe and Tom Keene and Chris Christopherson did a great job of holding them back. But I don't know.
Stopped by Kinko's.
That's the one thing I'm like, all right, sure,
Cool,
why not?
Okay.
But I thought that was a very cool moment, and then he's like, then that's when he drops the line on her.
You look like your mother.
You look like your mother.
Also, you have no idea the enemies you've just made.
You have no idea the enemies you just made. She's like, bring it on. I'm Lizzie Keene. So he gets back, checks on Red, and again, I was after the picture and the saving and the thing. I was really hoping she would just go back and just give Red a big old hug and a kiss and an embrace and say, "You've gone through so much to keep me safe." But she does what?
Questions.
She says, "What the F, man?"
Yeah.
No, but she rightfully so is still upset about the Tom thing. I understand that. So Red gives
but he gives her a good explanation
of what I feel like is
I thought it was an amazing explanation. Yeah.
amazing.
It bothered me
satisfying.
so much I wasn't here for your guys' podcast the last episode, but it drove me crazy that last episode.
sure
I was just
it
like, take it! I don't want to know!
Yeah.
Yes, you do. That's the whole point of this damn show is that you want to know.
Hey, take it easy. This is a Lizzie Keene.
That's right. I like you this episode, Lizzie.
But again, I think
zone.
if you look at Nick and the fact that she was in a life with somebody else, and we don't know exactly why she didn't take the marriage proposal, but we can
Right.
only assume it had something to do with her falling in love with Tom.
Yeah.
She felt manipulated by Red putting Tom in there to fall in love with her, and Red's speech was like, Tom was never supposed to fall in love with you. He was supposed to be like a friend of a friend. He was supposed to keep his distance from you.
Yeah, and he fell in love, and he's like,
And then I fired
living
him.
together.
Yeah, and then
what's he doing? I fired him.
Yeah.
And then also the super origin story, like, this is why I turned myself in. because I had to keep myself close to you. We got the goods.
That was good.
Yeah.
You know, again, between the Tom speech to Red and the Red speech to Lizzie, we got it all, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like this is
only
except-
some of it. He
Is
says
this
some
all
of
of
it.
it?
Some of it. Why can't you just lie?
right.
Just make me happy.
Okay, so it's.
Need to know basis.
I will say, Megan Boone, I thought did a good job in her reactions to that. I mean, she when she's hearing all this, like showing her face, she did a pretty good job of reacting. Like I saw it in her eyes.
Did you?
No, I did. I saw it. She was stopped. No, but I thought that was a very sweet, touching scene. And then even when she said, I did accept, even when she said, is that it? And he says, no. Well, I mean, most of it or whatever he says. And she says, can't you just
lie to me?
Lie to me.
Make a girl feel all right.
Yeah. And storms off. So what does this mean at this last thing when she goes to Tom at the end and says, you can help me? And he says, yes, I can. Tell me everything there is to know about Reddington. What does this mean? Does this mean she's trying to discredit him?
I'm imagining she's trying to figure out a little bit more about her past because now she's seen pictures of her at graduation. She sees this picture with the anonymous woman, which I'm presuming is her mother, perhaps, since we have a reference to her in this episode. I think she wants as much information as possible about her past.
She wants what she wants. She wants what she's always wanted all along, which is the truth. And I think this moment she finally says, I give up trying to get the truth I'm tired of playing games with Red. And Tom said earlier in the episode, I know more about Red than you think. I know more about Red than you realize.
Right.
So she's just trying to find out the truth. So now she has a new ally or an old ally to find out the truth.
Right. And is it with a view to sort of because she doesn't trust Red and is still mad at him and wants to whatever, or is she just really wanting to trust him? This is just a question, your gut. What do you think there?
I think she's fed up with him, with Red, and she just wants to get answers from
The question has always been, why me?
Yeah.
Right.
Why? What is my connection to this man, and why is he going so far out of his way to protect me? Why me?
Right.
Who am I?
Okay, well,
I have some ideas.
I think yeah, you have some ideas on that.
Maybe.
And then of course we have our final scene where we see our guy, the director, talking to someone, and having a long talk about a seat at the table and all this other good stuff and betraying a friend. And of course it's Tom Connolly, of course, and
he wants in.
He
to
wants
clandestine
in
services.
to Clandestine Services International.
to the Cabal.
To the Cabal. I've got a prediction there too, by the way.
Ooh.
Me too.
Yeah.
Actually.
All right. So
I don't. So knock yourselves out.
what else? I mean, what else we missed? What else jumped out at you in this episode? Any particular scenes or things that we didn't touch on?
What's I was going to look her up. What's the name of the person that's with Connolly in the beginning that's always with him?
Oh.
The African-American woman.
She's her title is the assistant.
She's just his
Attorney
assistant?
General. No, not his assistant. She's she's the assistant Attorney General or the Deputy Attorney General.
Okay.
Or the assistant. She's number 2 in Attorney General land.
Okay.
He's the Attorney General. She's the Deputy Attorney General.
Because there was in that beginning, there was that line where, I don't like being caught with my pants down. My ex-wives can attest to that. And she just starts laughing. And he just had Connolly just had all these looks with her. And I was just wondering what the hell's going on with those two as well. I was just curious. That's the only thing. It's really minor, but
it could be something. But I think that they're that's the.
And is she on his team if he switches to the Cabal?
That's a good question. Where do her loyalties lie?
Yeah,
she's a very thinly drawn character. And she definitely fits the angry, black man in authority, trope. But she's a woman. but she all she's done really is sort of yell at Cooper, So I don't know what her deal is at all.
But I think she's on the up and up.
Yeah.
I think that she's doing her job.
Right.
And I don't think that she's been swayed one way or the other.
I we'll see. I agree. What anything else?
I think she's the one that they need to circumvent.
Right. They in the previews they teased all loyalties don't trust anyone.
Oh, I didn't see previews.
Yeah.
I didn't either. So
everyone will flip 5 times. Watch you So they have a lot of they do the shot of sort of everyone Aram and Navabi and and Dimbe and and a lot of
someone is not what they seem to be.
Yeah, a lot of that don't trust anyone. Do you think out of everyone we know, who's the most likely to be untrustworthy? Do you think? This is
Samar.
Samar.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Agree. They tease that in the preview, but it's hard to say if it's a red
so
hair.
much.
I like her so much. Well,
She's like one of my faves.
Well, don't forget, it's not just Red's side against the Cabal. It's Red's side, the task force, what they're doing for the government, and the Cabal.
Yeah.
So
she's the one whose loyalties seem
to
to be the most.
Yeah, but her loyalties are to Red specifically.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Right.
saw Aram freak out when he got busted for helping Red.
Yeah.
So Samar seems to be the one that people maybe shouldn't trust because we still don't know exactly.
Well, I will say in the previews, they do show a scene where Samar draws a gun and appears to shoot Dembe. So we don't know what that means. We don't know. They
What?
It teased it as if Dembe was the one who was not to be trusted.
No.
But we know that can't be.
Not Dembe.
Not Dembe.
Come on now.
There's like someone can't be trusted, and Dembe pulls a gun and gets shot by Samar.
No.
Yeah. I'm spoiling. It's in the preview.
You are spoiling.
It's in the previews.
I didn't see the previews.
Check it out.
Fiction boy, don't hate us.
All right.
He always gets pissed off when we talk
Fiction
about that
boy,
stuff.
I know.
Yeah,
Like,
he
he's
hates
like,
it.
why
You
don't you
should have a
da-da-da-da?
little bigger warning, but it's okay.
All right, I'm sorry.
Too late now.
Spoiler alert
Sorry.
for the
Thanks.
previews. Anything else from you, Julia? Any other thoughts?
I am quite satisfied with this episode. That's my thought. I totally dug it. I feel very happy with where they're going now.
Okay, cool.
I'm on board.
I want to get into Nando. Do you have any shout outs handily available?
Handily available. I believe I do. Just give me 30 seconds.
Okay.
On a very minor, not necessarily Blacklist related thing, I do have I guess kind of news. I don't know. Just in the sense that I saw Avengers last night.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So because that's James Spader,
La-di-da.
and it was awesome. It was really, really cool.
And how was Spader?
Spader's phenomenal. My biggest concern when I saw the trailer and I heard his voice for the first time, I was like, oh, it's the Avengers versus Reddington,
Yeah.
But I guess because I cover the show and just follow James Spader so much. But no, it's great. His character Ultron is amazing. No spoilers there.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, it's a really, really good movie.
I'm excited for it.
Definitely big movie to catch this summer.
Well, I'll have to wait till Thursday, like the rest of it.
Did you guys see that funny little video with Megan Boone and Ryan Eggold? Did you see that? It was a funny little thing. They're yelling at each other. Go, Liz, Tom, and they're just super funny and addressing all these ridiculous things that have never really been addressed. Like, where's the dog? I don't know. Didn't she used to wear a wig? I don't know. And she puts on a stupid wig. They talk about his haircut. It's really funny. They just cut back and forth.
Oh, that's great. I want to see that. Where did you see that?
I think on
The interwebs.
Yes.
.com.
The interwebs.com.
Way to let us know about that.
www.interwebs.com.
People just look on the interwebs to find it.
Tom and Lizzie.
I think I saw it on Facebook because I follow the Blacklist.
Okay,
on
there we go.
NBC,
We'll find
the
that.
So,
Blacklist.
shout outs from last episode a couple of weeks ago. A lot of familiar faces. Dave 1555,
Dave.
VFC Church musician, performing cis, Ichabon 72, probably saying that one wrong. Holistic Health and Living, Marlene K, Ricky Ra, Amanda Henderson, Violet Eyed 7, Brad Barty, I Dream. Thank you very much, guys, for your comments.
I dream
Yes.
of.
You dream of what?
I dream of Brassy. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I dream of Genie.
I thought you were gonna say I dream of predictions.
No.
What are you gonna say?
Also, we did the rest of these guys. Kate
Yeah,
K,
me too.
of course, on Twitter, and
Oh yeah. And thank you guys so much, by the way. And you
all I
can, catch us on YouTube, and we'll shout your name out. And we do read we don't read them during the show, but we do read them. We do follow what you guys are saying, and you can obviously tweet at us, and you can also include the hashtag ABTV Blacklist
right.
to all of us. Yes.
Yes. Let's jump into some predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Julie, I'm going to do something I've never done before, and I'm actually going to ask you to go last. Because I think you have a super doozy of a prediction. I want to give you room to sort of lay it out for the world. So I'm going to go first.
He's just doing this because he knows what you're going to say. He's going to say
You don't know what I'm going to say, do you?
No.
If you steal it, I will stab you.
I think
And then Nando becomes my favorite.
Lizzie's mom is really... I'm telling you, I don't know. No idea what you're going to say. No, my prediction is Tom Connolly. I don't think he's going to be a bad guy. I think that he's, going in, he wants a seat, but I think ultimately he won't be able to betray his friend Harold. And maybe I don't know if it's some sort of double infiltration move. I don't know what it is, but I don't know that Tom Connolly's really going onto the dark side. Like, as much as he's just too sleazy all the time, and it's just too obvious. I just feel like maybe he's not as bad as we think he is. So we'll see about that. Nando, what's yours?
I think the exact opposite of you.
Okay.
Here's the interesting thing. I was just thinking about this, and I think it'd be a very interesting predicament. So we heard from the last episode, I think, or one of the last episodes, that Cooper's cancer is in remission. Mm-hmm. And he seems to be back to normal. So whatever
kick
threat,
the cane.
Whatever threat, yeah, kick the cane away. So whatever threat of him possibly dying has been eliminated, from what we could tell. But I think Connolly still has to give a really good betrayal to the task force. So I actually think that Cooper's going to die within the next couple of episodes.
Wow!
Because of something Connolly does. Because I think now that we're like, okay, Cooper's not going anywhere. His cancer's in remission. I think now's the perfect time to say, fooled you. So I honestly think Cooper's days are numbered.
Wow. Someone's going to die.
Yeah.
And who's going to head up task force? Wrestler?
I don't know about that, but yeah. Probably somebody new. They'll bring someone from the outside.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, poor Cooper.
Interesting. Oh, Cooper.
All right.
That's my thing.
It's finally getting interesting.
And my final prediction is the mother of Lizzie King is... Nah, no. Julia, what's your prediction?
Okay. So you got to bear with me a little bit, and this might be a little crazy.
Okay.
No.
And kind of conspiracy theory-ish, and I can't take all the credit. I had a long conversation with with one of our best followers, Shelly Ramus. Shout out to you.
Hi, Shelly.
Hi, Shelly.
Hey, Shelly.
So, we all know that Lizzie's real name is Masha, right? We learned this in the flashback.
Okay.
That's her name.
Brady.
Masha.
Masha Brady. Yes, go ahead.
When we went into that flat, we saw the old photo of the ornate military guy, the black and white photo.
Uh-huh.
I thought maybe it looks a little Russian. Oh. She is Russian. What if we traced her heritage back to the imperial family of Russia?
Here we
the
go.
Tsar, Nicholas II, the whole family was killed by the Bolsheviks, and Anastasia escaped?
Yes.
What if she's a direct descendant of the Bolshevik family, who is rumored to have millions and millions in offshore accounts?
Wow. The Bolshevik family.
The Bolshevik family.
Wow.
Anastasia escaped, and a woman, that was a huge, huge thing. A woman emerged in Berlin in like 1920 who claimed to be Anastasia all up until her death in the 90s, but she moved to Virginia.
Oh, that's interesting.
It was like the longest legal case in all of history.
Das Vidanya.
Okay, wow.
That's out there.
Yeah, it's out there.
I like that. You're really.
If she's the
you're
direct
so mic
heir,
droppy on it. You're really proud of it.
If she's the direct heir to the Romanov fortune,
yes.
What do you think about that?
I think that's.
And what's her connection to Red? But what's her connection to Red?
Well, I don't know that, but I'm
Red
saying
also...
that this is her family. This is her heritage. This is who she is.
All right, interesting.
All right.
Okay.
You hate it. I love it. I'm so on board. I'm so on board with this.
Awesome.
I love the Anastasia the film.
I love the animated
story,
film.
not the film, guys. I'm talking about the real story. This really happened.
No, I know it really happened. No, I like it. I think that's a very wonderful.
You think I'm crazy?
I don't.
You think Shelly and I are crazy?
You and I don't know. Was there wine
at least
involved in this conversation?
No.
If you are right, you can scream to the heavens, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Right.
But I love the fact that you're off on this one.
I know it's super conspiracy theory-ish,
It's awesome.
but still, we have that old ornate military picture,
Right.
with like the sashes and the medals, very Russian.
Right. Sure.
Tell us what you guys
Her
think.
name is
Do you
Masha.
Do you think
Masha.
Julia actually is crazy, or could she be right?
Like maybe Anastasia's her great grandma.
Or
I
crazy
don't know.
like a fox? Is Julia crazy like a fox, or is she just crazy?
You're jealous. You guys are just jealous.
Nah.
I was going to say the exact same thing. I actually was. No.
That's all we got.
I I'm telling you.
No,
They had jewels sewn into their
speechless.
corsets.
I'm-
I've been researching this for days now.
This is not.
That's what saved them when they were shot by firing squad. And she escaped.
I know.
Hey,
Okay, Julie.
take a history class.
Okay, I'm on board.
Learn something.
Learn
I'm
something.
on board with my world history on that. The jewels sewn into the corset. All right.
Diamonds.
Thank you for joining us on the Blacklist AfterBuzz After Show / Conspiracy Hour.
A whole fortune in foreign accounts.
Joe Sanfilippo, you can find him on Twitter at Joe Sanfilippo, at Joe Flippo, and on his website at Joseph Sanfilippo. Nando Velasquez, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Nandovel, Nandovel.
And Julia Cearley.
You guys, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram with my name, Julia Cearley, JuliaCearley.
And in all those deep web sites looking for conspiracy
deep.
theories.
Yeah,
those
the deep
ones.
web, the dark web, what they
The
call
dark
it.
web, yeah.
The dark web.
That's it.
I'm Joe
Bolsheviks
Braswell.
took 'em out.
The Bolsheviks. You can find
Moon
me on
landing was a
Twitter and
fake.
Instagram at Joe K. Braswell. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week for more Blacklist as we race to the finish of season 2 with 3 more episodes to go. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.